remember, people, that over the years, and my cousin even brought this up, my cousin who wound up hating my aunt, my aunt's thing has always been that she's not after, I'm not after your rightful inheritance, I'm not after your mom's estate, I have plenty of money of my own, okay? No. And she's always said, I've never touched one penny of your mom's money. Of course you haven't. You've had no reason to, because as you've said, remember, Auntie goes on vacations all the time, she has timeshare, she has apartment buildings, she says landlord, she whatever, okay? But regardless, her end game, as far as I'm concerned, and people around me who couldn't stand Auntie have been concerned, is Auntie's end game was always this, okay? Which she managed to do, which is to fuck me out of everything, okay? Her end game was obviously she has money, she's not going to take any of my mom's money, why would she? You get it? Now, case in point, see, she hates that she can't pull the wool over my eyes at all, with her little Christmas cookies hanging in the thing and whatever, okay? And she hates that she can't pull the wool over my eyes, and she can't keep up with her lies, because remember, when they won that wrongful death thing, right? That 7-8 years prior they'd agreed to split, right? Get out of there, Omar. And my mom was unhappy about all of it because, again, like she said, she can do stuff for her kids and she can do whatever, and I have to beg for every penny, and I'm not allowed to because she doesn't like you. I can't even, buy you anything, and et cetera, okay? So they win the case. It was settled out of court, okay? But Auntie, remember, Auntie was my enemy. Auntie later told me, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so you guys know that my mom was upset about probably having to lie to me or whatever about the nature of how much money they'd actually gotten, and she confessed it to a guy in a mental hospital and said she wants to fight her sister and revoke and all this crap, and he was supposed to help, blah, blah, whatever, okay? Now, Auntie would turn around and say, because remember I said, well, Auntie can say, well, first of all, she says to me, we signed a non-disclosure agreement. Bullshit. You told your family. But besides that, she could point out, well, I don't want Laura to spend all the money. I wouldn't know you had that. But Auntie had power of attorney at the time, which means my mom was completely protected from me spending all the money, right? See, Auntie can't keep up with her fucking lies. And when she found out that my mom had told me about that money, that it was 50, that was, over 50 rather than just 10 that they'd gotten each, she called up my mom. I was living with Bobby at the time. She called up my mom and screamed at her in the mental hospital because my mom told me. She's like, she's furious that she says you destroyed my house, which I didn't do. I told you my mom destroyed her own house. I didn't do anything to this fucking house, okay? I didn't do anything to this fucking house. Just like Karen points out, if that was really dog shit, then Auntie's insisting that dog shit on the kitchen floor would smell. You could smell it. But it doesn't matter, because Auntie's gone and Auntie's right. And she called her. My mom screamed at her. Because my mom told me, she's like, she's furious I told you about the money, Laura. Why, Auntie? You had power of attorney. You can dole out every penny. It doesn't matter if it's 100,000 each or 500,000 each or 10,000 each or whatnot. So why would you care? Except as I wisely pointed out to you when we were in our pseudo friendship, she didn't like it. She just gave me a look. I'm like, yeah, but if something happened to my mom, I would have never known that you really had over 40,000 more than you said you had. And she just, yeah. Because she knows her fucking game, and she hates that she can't pull the wool over my eyes, you understand? So let's flash back to when she allowed me to move in here. Because, see, Trouble, that's why Trouble can't stand Auntie. Trouble had apparently been watching my videos for years and years and years prior, so she knows all this shit. And I wrote it down, and I actually taped the message. Obviously, I wouldn't put it out anywhere, but I did it for my own sake. Hi. my mom, I moved in here in November, okay? And it was getting close to when, this was November 12th, it was, you smelly. It was getting close to when my mom would be filling out her new tax things, right? The year would be ending. She had never received her refund, a substantial refund, but it wouldn't matter if it was $1, it's still hers, it wouldn't matter. Her federal refund from the year before, and now we're in November, we're getting close to the new thing. And when I found this, I said, well, did you tell Auntie about it? And she's like, yeah, she just blows it off. She says, oh, call the governor or something, whatever. She didn't care. So, of course, I never trust my aunt. I'm like, why would my aunt not care that my mom hadn't gotten her refund? This is ridiculous. She should have got it months and months and months ago, right? And remember, Auntie's little, can we forget we were ever mean to each other, okay? And she comes here and sets up my computer. She didn't know how to do it. I would have having to pay someone to do it anyway. She didn't do it right, or she didn't have the right cord, I don't know. But in any case, all this crap, right? And then, because I'm innocently, and that's why someone like Trouble sees right through Auntie, and even when I was playing devil's advocate, saying, well, she said this, and she didn't care, okay? This was years later, but, I innocently was inquiring as to why my mom hadn't got her refund. Auntie doesn't give a shit, okay? If Auntie doesn't care and it's my mom's money, why can't I inquire into it? I'm just innocently doing it. Auntie had a fucking shit fit. She left messages to my mom like your daughter just wants to take all this crap that wasn't true. I was grateful to be out of that shelter. I was grateful that Auntie had let me come back here, whatnot. And Auntie, I have it on message, but then she turns it all around, and she takes my mom out to eat, and my mom talks to me, and she's sorry, Laura, she overreacted. No. She showed her true colors, and now she's going to smooth things over with you. Because she was threatened. 2 months prior, it was, you know, can we forget we were ever mean to each other? Now suddenly she's threatening to throw me out because I had the nerve to want to investigate. I'm a detective, you know what I mean? And my mom, why don't we find out where her $500 is? And then I'm calling up and they're saying something about it could have been fraud, and Auntie doesn't give a shit. Why? Because she's caught up in her own life? I don't know. I said, because I had said, well, did you ask her? Oh, she just blows me off, you know, and says call the governor or whatnot, stupid shit, and yeah. But that instantly showed me. And I was talking to Joe about it, and he taught me about smoke and mirrors and all this crap, because Auntie's saying X, Y, and Z and this, that, and just going into a rage when all I'm doing is, I'm not trying to find out anything. I'm innocently trying to help my mom, you know? But then when Auntie reacts like that, then I start thinking, God, what is she hiding? It turned out it was nothing. It turned out, I forget what happened. I told you guys at the time. But the whole point is, Auntie's little, she's a phony fucking bitch, okay? Her little hugging me, can we forget we were ever mean to each other, and blah, blah, whatever. And a mere 2 months later, she's threatened to throw me out. And I have my mom crying on my bed, crying her eyes out. Mom, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm afraid of her, Laura. Why are you afraid of her? I'm afraid of what she'll do to you, Mom. Remember, I wasn't poor. She can't throw me out in the clothes on my back like happened in 2009, okay? Like, Mom, I have all that retroactive money, okay? Worst she could do is throw me out, but she can't, you know, I won't be going out with the clothes on my back, okay? But in the end, that showed me instantly, you know, how quick she is to she's so full of it. She is so full of it, it's unbelievable. Because I hadn't done anything wrong. I was trying to help my mom get her $500 and to figure out and make sure she wasn't a victim of, like, identity fraud or something. And when I called up, but remember, Auntie didn't care about it. My mom had complained to Auntie, I didn't get my refund. Auntie's like, oh, call the governor. I'm like, what the fuck? Call the governor. Bullshit, you know, and my mom just as usual, you know, and so I thought I'd get to the bottom of it. And then all hell broke loose because of it. It was such bullshit. I created a bunch of videos over that. Because it was just shows how quick she is to just, in the message, I can't remember what it was, but it was vicious, that she left, your daughter's just, and I'm going to throw her out of the, oh my God, yeah. 2 months ago was, can we forget we were mean to each other, and you let me leave the shelter, move in here, and then you suddenly, But, that showed me, huh? She's so full of it. She's so fucking full of it, So full of it. It turned out it was nothing, but she was responsible. You understand? She was the power of attorney, but she was never hands-on with my mom or whatnot. And I know this because my mom would tell me when I was living in LA, My mom broke her fucking glasses and was afraid to even ask her sisters to drive her to go get new ones. It just, my mom would tell me all this shit. I told you about just recently that enraged Selena. That my mom wanted to get cataract surgery with her eye doctor she'd been seeing for a long time. And the woman does it, she has an office around here, but she does the cataract surgery. Her surgery, she has a different office further away. Not like a million miles away, obviously. And Auntie couldn't be bothered to do that for my mom for one day. And my mom was very hurt over that. And Auntie forced my mom to go to a new place. That you can get a ride there and a ride back, and I wouldn't have to inconvenience myself one little iota. And then it turned out, I told you, that place was either milking my mom's insurance or whatnot. I finally got to the bottom of it, not that I was completely satisfied with their answer, but because it goes back down to this one thinks she needs cataract surgery, and you think she needs a million tests and has way more problems than cataracts, and I don't know. All I know is her sister couldn't let her stay with the eye doctor she liked and couldn't let her get the cataract surgery with the eye doctor she liked, and then, Unbelievable. No, Joe knows this was always Auntie's end game, to somehow figure out how to do this to me. And she did it, didn't she? She regained the power she lost because of me, but then she regained it tenfold. She regained it 100-fold. You know what I mean? No, I see right through her. That's a snake, always a snake, AUNTIE-SLITHER-SLITHER-SLITHER-STRIKE. Right? Right? Told me about the money. Remember, but what did it matter? You see, Auntie could say, oh, because I'll spend it. How can I? You're the power of attorney. How can I spend a penny of it? No, she had ulterior motives for wanting to keep it secret. Who knows? Doesn't matter. It's not like I ever suspected anything. I don't go around suspecting people stuff. My mom, why would I think? I was more upset that my mom had lied to me. I told you, she comes home. I have 50 videos about this. She comes home. Maybe 20, but... And, Laura, I have a confession to make. She comes up with a mental hospital. I have a confession to make. What? And then proceeds to tell me how they got way more money than I... And she made me do it. And then she tells me all about how she met the guy in the mental hospital and he's going to help her fight her sister, you know, so... It says it's been going on for so long. Am I even surprised at this ending? No. Surprised at the no longer have a mother part. If my mom was turning on me, you think because irrationally it would not, do you think it would have mattered even if there was less money gone? It wouldn't. Seriously. Had I never gone to LA, had the dogs never had the problems or whatever, had we not been doing organic, then of course there'd be much more money now at Auntie's disposal to just sit there. You know what I mean? What does it matter? That's what you guys have to think about. What does it matter? Seriously. It doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Just in her mental illness it mattered because she really thinks that her 401k, I don't know what she thinks, that it's not there, that it's not money, that it's not whatever, you know. That was the backup. But she acts like it doesn't exist. Seriously. She does. That's like her illness. The fact of the matter is, the mother who loved me always wanted everything to go to me and wanted me to have the world. So, she would have never wanted things to turn out like this, ever, ever, ever. And I know that deep down in my heart. Okay? And so do the people closest to me. They know. All those fucking meds have taken their toll. Told you, our mutual friend visited and I had to have my mom, you know, take her friggin' morning pills. She hadn't taken them on her own. It was getting later. It wasn't like 7 in the morning, you know. She's supposed to take them. She doesn't want to. I went and walked to Omar. I came home after having her take her pills and my friend was like, oh my God, she really hates you. She thinks you want her to take those meds, and you know, she's upset that she's been put in these mental hospitals, and you know, etc., etc. And my friend knows it's irrational. I don't have a choice. It kills me to have to make her take those meds. To me, they're fucking poison. Okay, but I got proof. The minute I walked out the door with Omar, because, you know, I had to have my mom take her pills. She was like that in our friend's ear. And then my friend told me when we got back, you know. And this was, of course, the next morning after the fiasco from the night before. that fiasco, I'm thinking, God, I can't even have, can't even have that. Like I said, this wasn't my mom paying for my friend to come and we're going to party. No. This was our friend and we were supposed to go visit her, and that would have cost a lot more because we've had to take care of him and do something with him, What? My friend adored my mom. She was talking to her all the time in the mental hospital. And she was my mom's friend. Not anymore. This last time she wouldn't even... No, they all conspired against me. The hospital staff, Auntie. Auntie was waiting for the day. Auntie's always tried to poison my mom against me, and I know that from my mom. She waited for the day that my mom would finally turn against me. She waited for it. I told you this last time, my mom was not. She was just... She's been getting progressively worse. And they could sit there and say, they conveniently make me the scapegoat. Her little, I'm going to try to make my sister well again, by renting out your downstairs apartment to her. Basically, you're trying to make her well again to simply, if she's away from me, she'll be fine. I wonder if I can keep an eye on her, yeah. How much of an eye are you really going to keep on her when you're not living with her, Auntie? I don't know what her game is not cashing that $15,000 check either. Why she's sitting on it? Is she going to try to pretend I didn't give it? I don't know. All I know is I checked and she still had not cashed it. Deposited it or whatever. Remember, I actually gave back 16. I closed out the one joint account and took money from the other joint account, but kept way enough in to pay the bills, And that was where my mom's checks went. I kept way enough to pay the bills. I didn't know what Auntie was up to. I had planned, even if I was going to take off, I was planning on continually, I wasn't going to not pay the bills. And then, as you know, I did that one last thing for Angel. And, in memory or in what of my mom adoring Angel, too, Angel was due for her 6-month checkup. She needed the urinalysis, and she wound up having friggin' urine infection and having to go on the medicine for that. But her Aproquel was for like 7 months worth, and that was almost $200. All total, it was like $400. I got both of them Heart Card Plus. So of the $400 bill, his was just a tiny part of it. Just the Heart Card, just the 6 months worth. I got 12 months worth. Speaking of which, I'm supposed to get my refund, rebate. Never filled it out before. What? Omar, I fed you early. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm sure you're not liking going in the bathroom every day. What's wrong? What? I don't know what's wrong with you. What? Are you upset that I'm in your creative baby? What? What? Not getting anything to eat. I just fed you early. You just want to leave me alone. What? Yeah, if only I could understand you. If only I could understand you, but I can't. Although with you, it's probably always you want food and you ate. I don't know what's wrong with you. What? Anyway, yeah, some of you might remember that that was short-lived, huh? We forget we're ever mean to each other 2 months after, allow me to go, but then you know what happened. My mom and I saw God. She lets me come here, and then the second she just is paranoid and thinks I'm whatever, and I wasn't. I was trying to help my mom with something she should have helped my mom with months prior. She was blowing my mom off, so I'm like, I'll try to get to the bottom of it. You know, it was good to get to the bottom of why my mom hadn't got her refund, but she was supposed to get months and months and months ago, and now we're going into the new thing, the new year. I mean, there was nothing wrong. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but that shows you power. Even the hint that I might be, and I wasn't. I wasn't trying to figure out anything. It's just like, I believed my mom when she told me that they only got that small amount for the wrongful death settlement. Why wouldn't I believe my mom? Why would I think she was lying to me, I don't think along those lines. I trusted her, but I was very angry when I found out the truth. Obviously, I'm going to be angry. I was angry when my mom lied to me, and she made me, Laura. She made me. I know. Auntie's full of shit. Auntie knows. I've had my mom cry to me over Auntie. I've had my mom cry to me that her sister doesn't care about her. Selena knows. Selena wrote comments. How do you think it makes your mom feel to think her sister doesn't care about her? And now it's, now it's a whole other story, isn't it? So sick. So sick. My mom used to bitch to me. All Auntie cared about was that guy, that old man. Her friend. Her dear friend, yeah. Your dear, well-off friend, Auntie. Not pulling the wool over my eyes. You never pulled the wool over my eyes about that, but we were pseudo-friends, so I never would say anything out on YouTube. I would never say what I was thinking, but my mom and I would talk about it. My mom saw right through it as well. Then, as some of you remember, we went around Auntie. My mom got a doctor's note that I could be here and as her caregiver, and that was all she wrote. Auntie couldn't threaten. There was no. She couldn't threaten to get me out of here anymore. My mom had a doctor's note. Oh yeah, oh no. You guys know. Always. My mom was never that close to this sister. She adored the one that died. That's why she wrote in that note that time, you know. I'm sure she felt bad about that afterwards. But do I think she meant it? Yeah. I wish that she had died instead of the one who did. Why not wish that? My mom was like this with the other sister. I was too for a long time in my life when I was younger. Never with this one. This one's all about control. Even the sister that you know, the oldest one who died recently went on. At one point, Auntie, the sister died of pancreatic cancer, and my mom all were equally in control of that one's money or whatnot. But in the end, it all went to Auntie, like relinquished Auntie, and you know what I mean. Auntie's always the one in our family. Everyone bows down to her. Everyone just, you know, because, like I said, at one point, and then suddenly they weren't. Suddenly Auntie's handling it all, you know. I don't know what came out of that. I don't know if that sister had any kind of, I know my mom, because she had money, you know, she had that money from the case, she had 401k, whatever, and she was talking about doing some kind of funeral thing for that sister, because nothing was ever done for her. And that made my mom sad, because she, you know. But in the end, no one questions Auntie. I don't know if she got anything. I don't know if that woman maybe had a small life insurance policy and Auntie all went to Auntie, or who knows. I know she was one that didn't like to spend a penny, and like they went one time when I was in my 20s, I think, and I told you, the sister, I mean, she was on disability, obviously, but whatever, I don't know if she got or how it worked, but they found her carrying around in her bra like $7,000 or $9,000, because you're only supposed to have 2 in the bank or something, and that's ridiculous, but that was her mental illness, because she could have easily lost it, got robbed, or whatever. She never wanted to spend a penny. But anyway, that wound up going in a bank, and originally it was split up where the 3 sisters were all equally taking care of it, and then suddenly I found out from my mom that it's just Auntie doing it, and Auntie, you know, it's always Auntie. No one questioned her in my family, no one ever, you know. She can say whatever she wants against me, and no one ever cares in my family. They don't care, period. They bow down to her, they listen to every word she says, and that's it. Why do you think I've reveled so much in this? Where I get listened to, and there are people who believe me, just like, you know, believed me about Donald and Hope too. Remember my friends back then, I forget her name now, you know, not only should Omar not be having jalapeno potato chips, he shouldn't be having any potato chips. I was condemned for that. Hope wouldn't stop giving him the chips. Even after Donald said, you know, he's had enough. Meanwhile, he doesn't need to be having potato chips at all. But again, they ganged up on me and made me feel, you know. So, yeah, YouTube has been like a fucking salvation for me. Because here and there, obviously, you take the good with the bad. Karen and I were talking about that. You know, that people do YouTube and they get enemies and they're just vicious towards them, just like mine are, you know, towards me. But I have, over the years, gotten people who saw my side and agreed with me about Donald and Hope and about Auntie, you know. Donald Hope ripping me apart. I mean, crying in a fetal position in the upstairs bathroom because I wanted her to stop giving Omar so many jalapeno potato chips. You'd think I was, you know. Burrito, yeah, I know she loved it. She always wanted to give him everything because she loved it. He loved her. She wasn't getting love from her son, that's for damn sure. I sometimes wonder what happened. Like I said, without me and Omar there as a buffer, what happened in that relationship? Did they wind up staying together? Did it implode, explode? I don't know. That dysfunctional relationship. You don't need to be eating potato chips, especially as many as Hope would give you. Do anything. By the time she was upstairs, and I heard the, "You've had enough, Prita, you've had enough." And then she's like, she'd had a big bag of, she's like, "Oh, he ate most of them, yeah. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it because I'm here at your mercy and I'm condemned for not wanting you to give my dog potato chips." Right? You don't need to eat potato chips, do you? You don't get them anymore, do you? No. Mama eats potato chips once in a while and she doesn't give you even one. You don't need to have potato chips. In rational people's brains, anyway. Yeah, I will forever bring that up periodically because it sums up everything, you know. Me to feel like shit because I don't want her to give him more too many, you know. I was watching her give him and watching her give him, so was Donald. And I was getting more and more upset, but I can't say anything. But then Donald finally said something. You know, "That's enough, don't give him any more, Mom." And then she continued to do it. And then I had the nerve to say something and then all hell broke loose. Basically, that sums it up. But Donald loved if his mom turned on me, so then I had to be upstairs in the bathroom crying my eyes out, up in the fetal position, hearing Donald say, "Just throw her out, man, just throw her out." Yeah. And cheap asshole Donald, I had told him, "Don't order Advanix off of eBay. You can wind up getting a bad batch." Does he listen to me? No. He orders it off of eBay, and then the house comes infested with fleas, and Donald's, and what happened, because Donald sleeps with Omar every night, and Donald's itching, and Donald's pissed, and I'm thinking, "I told you so," you know, but then Donald's just gonna not believe it was because of ordering it from eBay. He's gonna believe whatever, you know. You take your chances ordering fucking flea stuff from eBay. You could get one that's expired or whatever, I don't know, or counterfeit. And I warned him, don't do it, but he did it anyway. And then he suffered. I was glad. I was glad. I made videos about that too. Serves him right. It's not like the Advance is that expensive anyway. You have to order it off at fucking eBay. Of course, Donald would never admit that. He's just, "Oh, it stopped. It's not working," even though it worked for years. Yeah. I guess it wasn't any good, Donald. I think I looked at it and it wasn't even the right poundage for him, because remember, he'd gained weight. He was he's 20 pounds now. He was 20 pounds all the time. You know, when I would take him every 2 or 3 days with his chronolysis and whatnot, but he was up to almost 23 pounds with Hope, and you know, because she fed him too much, as you know. And I think the Advantage Donald got wasn't even for his poundage. I don't know. All I know is I laughed secretly. Mama secretly laughed. Yes, served Donald right. He was itching all the time. We had to bomb the house. What's wrong? You going cuckoo? You going cuckoo on Mama? Huh? You ate? Can we go back to bed for a little bit? Wait a minute, is that my good sock? There's plenty of bad socks I gotta throw away or do something with them, all those white ones. Yeah, that's my good sock. You can't have that one. Here, have a different sock. Here, have this one. The green one. Look, have the green one. Here, have the green one. That's an ugly sock. Those are the kind of socks Grandma gets when she goes in these hospitals. I don't know if you guys know that, but those are kind of like standard. I never read any of the messages in response to that ever. I didn't read any messages in response to the online free lawyer thing, that I was just inquiring, I guess. But my common sense tells me that no one, you know, Auntie shuts off these utilities, no one can force me to put them on. So technically I could legally allow my mom's pipes to freeze. I said as much to the electric company too. I haven't read any of the responses, though. Look at Mama. Look at Mama. Look at Mama. Love you, Chiquita Banana. I'm Chiquita Banana. Look at your ears. Looks okay. And look at here. Alright, there we go. You look better. I guess that stuff does work. Chiquita Banana, if you feel the biggest like banana. back to bed? Should we go back to bed? Huh? No, I did not say I'm going to give you anything to eat. Once a snake, always a snake, Auntie. Slither, 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 strike.